Next on Worcester News Tonight, the district attorney weighs in on the long criminal history of the man who shot and killed an Auburn police officer. Plus, vandalism at a local cemetery. Now Uxbridge is asking for help in finding the person behind it. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. The memory of a fallen police officer in Auburn is honored tonight as a pair of youth softball teams remember the life of Officer Ron Tarantino. The teams held a special moment before and after their games this evening. Alicia Rodriguez has more on the touching moments.
They're rivals on the field, but both the Auburn and Leicester girls softball teams united Tuesday to honor a hero who touched both of their hometowns.
You know, there are times you're going to be competing with the other team across the diamond, but there's times you can come together in unity and when your community or your communities are in crisis.
Officer Ron Tarantino lived in Leicester and served on the police force there for 7 years before transferring to Auburn, where he died in the line of duty on Sunday.
And this is the least we could do.
A memorable game made even more so by the shadow of the Auburn Police Department, where mourners have been pausing and leaving flowers.
We'll remember the darkness of this time. I more hope that they remember the light and the goodwill and the kindness that many people have been showing and will show going forward.
After their game, both teams stopped to add more and to also offer Officer Tarantino's colleagues a gift, a signed game ball.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It
really means a lot to us.
The support we're getting from everybody is just unbelievable.
A matchup that turned into a symbol of the bond two communities will always have through one hometown hero.
We really appreciate it. We really do. Thank you, guys.
The game, by the way, ended in a tie. They say that it was the perfect way to end a perfect game.
Tonight's tribute, one of the many since Sunday's tragedy. Support is coming in from across the region. Tonight, we're learning more about the range of efforts to support the Auburn Police Department and the officer's family. Andy Madison has the story.
At the Auburn Police Department, the memorial for Officer Ronald Tarantino continues to grow.
We just want to pay our respects and show our support to the family.
I dropped off a card for the family.
At Holiday Pizza in Auburn, the staff reserved a table in his honor.
If it wasn't already occupied by someone else, he enjoyed that table, so I decided to do something for him.
These are just a few tributes throughout the community for Officer Tarantino, who was shot and killed during a traffic stop on Sunday. A husband and father to 3 children, the Auburn Police Department has set up a memorial fund for Tarantino's family. Boston radio DJ Greg Hill also announced today his foundation raised $40,000 for the family.
He was just a great, great guy. Everyone here in the community lost someone very, very special.
Say thank you, Mr. Officer.
A loss being felt throughout the community and an officer being remembered for his service.
You lose somebody in that manner. It's very difficult, very difficult.
Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
The man who police say shot and killed Officer Ronald Tarantino Jr. during a traffic stop Sunday had an extensive criminal history, including violence against police officers. It has some in the officer's community wondering why he wasn't in prison. Our Olivia Lemon has the details.
Court records show state police arrested Jorge Zambrano just days before the 35-year-old shot and killed Auburn police officer Ronald Tarantino Jr. Zambrano's lengthy criminal history includes charges of assault and battery on a police officer. It has some questioning why he wasn't locked up.
They need to be put away. They can't be just turned up right back out. They're out in the street faster than the police officers finish his report on what happened.
Worcester County District Attorney Joseph Early Jr. says Zambrano served 7 years in prison after punching an officer in the face and coming at police with a knife in 2007.
He served all of that sentence. After that, when he got out of jail, he continued to commit crimes.
This January, Zambrano was arrested again in Worcester for assault and battery on a police officer. Court records show the officer approached the car. Zambrano grabbed his uniform and tried to pull the officer into the car with a pit bull inside.
We made a determination that if we put him on probation and had 2.5 years hanging over his head, test him for drug and alcohol. If he stayed clean, fine. If he didn't stay clean, we could send him to jail for 2.5 years.
Early says a month later, Zambrano violated his probation. He was arrested on a domestic violence charge against his girlfriend. At the time, the DA asked the judge to revoke his bail, but Zambrano was released on $500.
The system moves too fast, and we treat people as files, as numbers, not as individuals. We don't get to know him well.
Retired Massachusetts District Court Judge Isaac Borenstein says the Zambrano case is the result of an overburdened system.
That's the dilemma, and therefore you lose people, which is what happened here. We lost them. And we have a tragedy as a result.
Zambrano's most recent arrest was on May 16th for driving with a suspended license. He was released on personal recognizance. The district attorney says prosecutors and judges make tough decisions every day.
The judges have a hard job as well. They don't have a crystal ball either. They have to make assessments based on the facts presented to them, knowing that any one of them could blow up at any time.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
Worcester police are on the lookout for a man. They say he broke into a home, waking up a woman who was inside taking a nap. The woman was inside the home on Share Trail. Dogs inside the house started barking at the suspect. The woman woke up and checked to see if a relative had come home. When she opened the door to another room, she saw the intruder. He quickly slammed the door shut and jumped out of the window of the second-floor room, eventually running off into the woods. Police, along with K-9 units, searched for the man but were unsuccessful. He's described as a white male in his late teens or early 20s, around 5'8", with dark hair and was wearing dark clothing. If you have any information, you're asked to contact Worcester Police. Police in Uxbridge, meanwhile, are looking for whoever is responsible for vandalizing a local cemetery. It's in a remote part of town, and police now have a picture of two individuals they're looking to identify as persons of interest in the case. Our Brittany Schaefer has a look into the investigation.
It's extremely disturbing.
Uxbridge police are now searching for these two suspects. Police Chief Jeffrey Laurie says they may be responsible for vandalism at a historic cemetery in town. Dozens of headstones have been severely damaged.
We have some persons of interest now due to the media releases. We received some photos from someone that was in the area.
The damage was discovered Monday morning. The old Richardson Cemetery dates back to the mid-1700s.
It's discouraging, it's disheartening, and I just don't understand why people think it's okay to do that.
You've got Civil War veterans buried there. It's very senseless. This is private property. It's a family cemetery. It's very disturbing, and it's obviously angered quite a few Uxbridge residents, to include the Cemetery Commission here in town.
Uxbridge Fire Chief Stephen Tankrell noticed minor damage to the cemetery back on April 30th when battling a brush fire in the same area.
I was at the brush fire. While we were extinguishing it, we noticed the headstones that were all turned over.
We thought it was maybe a camping fire where people were drinking. Now it appears that possibly it was a set fire.
Uxbridge police and fire are looking into a string of intentionally set brush fires and are investigating to see if they're related to the vandalism at the cemetery.
And we get other reports of other fires up and down the street. There was actually 13 different spots along Millville Road that were set on fire. But especially now, the last couple months with these incidents, where concern is a little higher.
There has been, sadly, vandalism at some of the sites, and this one, unfortunately, has taken the brunt of the damage over the years.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
Recreation Worcester showcases its after-school program to state leaders Tuesday. Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito toured the Quinsigamond Elementary School. It's one site where Recreation Worcester hosts a number of activities for city kids. The city has 6 schools participating in the program. Today, visitors got to see activities in the gym, a music performance, and artwork in the school's library. City Manager Ed Augustus says the program is a success and gives kids a safe place to be after school.
It just shows you what a demand there is if the first day 210 kids show up looking for these kind of opportunities, and the parents are looking for these kind of opportunities. It stabilizes neighborhoods. It gives kids the kind of support that they deserve and that they need. So it's a win-win all the way around.
Recreation Worcester also runs a free summer camp program at a number of sites throughout the city. Volunteers are helping to restore the city's World War I memorial by planting trees. People gathered at Green Hill Park Tuesday to help plant 38 new trees. The trees represent the 380 Worcester veterans who died in World War I. It is the latest effort by the Green Hill Park Coalition to restore the living memorial while also adding more trees throughout the city.
I'm going to have 39 today. And it's our first planting day. So in total, we're about 206, could be up as high as 260 trees actually, but 39 today.
The Worcester Tree Initiative has partnered with the state for this project. They hope to add hundreds more trees to the park in the fall. Police in Sterling are looking for a man accused of robbing a popular wedding venue. Officers responded to the Chuckset Inn on Laurelwood Road around 5 Tuesday morning. A clerk told police a man entered the building and demanded money. The suspect told the employee he was armed. Police say he stole an undisclosed amount of money and then ran off. No one was injured. The Friendly House in Worcester is now $3,500 closer to raising the money needed to renovate their gym. Tuesday, the district attorney presented a $2,500 check to put towards the remodel. AutoZone gave an additional $1,000. The executive director of Friendly House says hundreds of kids use the gym every week, and after years of wear and tear, it's in need of a renovation. Friendly House has a goal of $75,000 to put towards things like a new floor, new bleachers, and painting.
Important for us, for this project, is that we want to have a nice place for all of our people, young and old. It's going to make a statement.
They were selected by our corporate office, and we were fortunate enough to come down here and even to get to find out more about what they do and how far-reaching they are, and we're proud to donate $1,000 to the Friendly House.
Friendly House hopes to start remodeling this gym in August. They say anyone who wants to help can make donations to the Friendly House. Plenty of great basketball players in the city certainly have played